Hello students, how are you? Good morning. Students, by now we have discussed about the Greek War of Independence, or you may say Greek nationalist movement, and we have discussed and we have just read about that Greek was under the rule of Ottoman Empire, Ireland and Poland, and these just because of the revolutionaries' efforts, Greek got its independence in 1832 and it was recognized as an independent nation. Now, so far we have discussed that it was due to the efforts created by the revolutionaries among the people to arouse the sentiments or to arouse the nationalist feelings. But it was not only the efforts of revolutionaries, but it was the efforts of some romantic poets and painters also, which created or which helped or who helped in creating the nationalist sentiments among the illiterate people. Okay, now let's see how the romantic imagination and national feelings. The development of nationalism did not come about only through wars and territorial expansion, but culture played an important role in creating the idea of nation, and for that, art and poetry, stories and music helped express and shape nationalist feelings. As earlier I asked you students that mostly people, they were illiterate, so they were unable to read the newspapers, magazines and other things, but they were made up aware by these poets, these artists, these painters only. And so let us look at Romanticism, a cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiments. Romantic artists and poets, they generally criticized, वो आमतौर पर क्रिटिसाइज करते थे द ग्लोरिफिकेशन ऑफ रीजन एंड साइंस. Why? And focused instead on emotions, intuitions, and mystical feelings. Their effort was to create a sense of shared collective heritage, a common cultural past as the basis of a nation. क्योंकि वो तो लोगों को क्या बताते थे कि हमारा बेस ही, हमारे राष्ट्र का बेस ही, जो हमारा पास्ट में कल्चरल, जो हमारा कॉमन कल्चर था, वही हमारा बेस है. Now you just see this portrait. It was painted by a painter of a French painter. He was the most important French romantic painter, and in this huge painting it has been depicted that an incident in which 20,000 Greeks were said to have been killed by Turks on the island of Chios. And by dramatizing the incident, फोकसिंग ऑन द सफरिंग, इस इंसिडेंट को इस तरह से ड्रामेटाइज किया गया कि इसमें दिखाया गया है कि विमेन और चिल्ड्रन पे कैसे सफरिंग्स, कैसे उनको टॉर्चर किया जा रहा है, एंड यूजिंग विविड कलर्स. नाउ हियर द पेंटर सॉट टू अपील टू द इमोशंस, कैसे उसने इमोशंस को कैसे निकाला, उभारा है, ऑफ द स्पेक्टेटर्स के सामने ये इमोशंस, ये अपील कैसे दिखाई है, एंड क्रिएट, और ग्रीक्स के प्रति अपने मतलब सिंपैथी कैसे इकट्ठी की है. सो यू सी दिस, इट्स वेरी हार्ट टचिंग painting create or painted by a painter. Now because of this only, how the people, they aroused themselves when they see these things, because they are illiterate, but when they just saw the incident or the torture which was just did on the people of just Greeks, they became very angry and they worked a lot for the restoration of their ancient Greek civilization, or to make Greek an independent nation. Now you see, now let's move further. Other romantics, such as the German philosopher John Gottfried Herder from 1744 to 1803 claimed that true German culture was to be discovered among the common people. Das Volk. It was through folk songs, कैसे आएगा? Folk poetry and folk dances that the true spirit of nation it was popularized. So collecting and recording these forms of folk culture was essential, बहुत ज़रूरी है to the project of nation building. So you see कि लोगों में किस तरह से ये भावना पैदा करने के लिए किस चीज़ की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है? फोक कल्चर को दिखाने की बहुत ही ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. एंड इट कुड बी फोक सॉन्ग्स, folk poetry and folk dances. Now see the emphasis on vernacular languages, and for that because people they were illiterate, so they were unable to read the newspapers and other things, other magazines. So emphasis means किस बात पर ज़्यादा जोर डाला गया? On vernacular language and the collection of local folklores was not just to recover an ancient national spirit but also to carry the modern nationalist message to large audience. केवल अपने पुराने धरोहर को ही इकट्ठा करना नहीं था, बल्कि जो नई नेशनलिस्ट फीलिंग्स थे, मैसेज थे, वो वर्नाकुलर लैंग्वेज के थ्रू इन लोगों में पहुंचाया और इन लोगों में इंस्टिल किया जा सकता था. Who were mostly illiterate. This was especially so in the case of Poland, which had been partitioned at the end of 18th century by the great powers Russia, Persia and Austria. Even though Poland no longer existed as an independent territory, but national feelings were kept alive through music and language. Karol Karpinski, for example, celebrated the national struggle through his operas and music, turning folk dances like the Polonek and Mazurka into nationalist symbols. उन्होंने अपने इस ओपेराज को, म्यूज़िक को, डांसेस को किस तरह से इंस्टिल किया, प्रोजेक्ट किया लोगों के सामने नेशनलिस्ट सिंबल्स के रूप में. Language too played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. After Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of school. क्योंकि जब पोलैंड के ऊपर रशिया ने कैप्चर कर लिया तो पॉलिश लैंग्वेज को निकाल दिया गया एंड रशियन लैंग्वेज वॉज इम्पोज्ड एवरीवेयर. In 1831, an armed rebellion against Russian rule took place, which was ultimately crushed. Following this, many members of the clergy in Poland began to use language as a weapon of national resistance. अब लोगों ने अपने रेवोल्यूशन किए भी, आर्म्ड रिबेलियन भी किया, लेकिन उसको क्रश कर दिया गया. लेकिन जो भी क्लर्गी के मेंबर्स थे पोलैंड के, उन्होंने इसी लैंग्वेज को, जो उनकी पॉलिश लैंग्वेज थी, उसको यूज़ किया एक वेपन के रूप में लोगों को, मतलब रेजिस्टेंस, विरोध दिखाने के लिए. पॉलिश वॉज यूज्ड फॉर चर्च, और इसको कहाँ कहाँ पर चर्च में यूज़ किया गया, गैदरिंग्स में, एंड ऑल रिलीजियस इंस्ट्रक्शंस. एज ए रिजल्ट अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ प्रिस्ट्स एंड बिशप्स, और क्योंकि प्रिस्ट ने और बिशप्स ने किया था तो उनको जेल में डाल दिया गया और सेंट टू साइबेरिया by the Russian authorities as punishment for their refusal to preach in Russian. So the use of Polish came to be seen as a symbol of struggle against Russian dominance. Now you see the Grimm brothers. They are folk tales and nation building. Grimm's fairy tales is a familiar name. The brothers Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, they were born in German city of Hanau in 1785 and 86 respectively. While both of them studied law, they soon developed an interest in collecting old folk tales. They spent 6 years traveling from village to village, talking to people and writing down fairy tales. which were handed down through the generation. These were popular both among children and adults. In 1812, they published their first collection of tales. Subsequently, both the brothers became active in liberal politics, especially the movement for freedom of press. In the meantime, they also published a 33-volume dictionary of the German language. And the Grimm brothers also saw French domination as a threat to German culture and believed that the folk tales they had collected were expression of a pure and authentic German spirit. They considered their project of collecting folk tales and developing the German language as part of the wider effort to oppose French domination and create a German national identity. Now, I think the things are clear to you. Now, let's move further. And again, in the meantime, hunger, hardship, and popular revolt. In 1830s were years of great economic hardship in Europe. Why? Because the first half of 19th century saw an enormous increase in population all of Europe. क्योंकि उसी टाइम पे यूरोप में बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज़ हो गई. इन मोस्ट कंट्रीज़ देर वर मोस्ट सीकर्स ऑफ जॉब दैन एम्प्लॉयमेंट कम और जॉब सीकर्स ज़्यादा. Population from rural areas migrated to the cities to live in overcrowded slums. गांव से लोग शहरों में आने लगे, झुग्गी झोपड़ियाँ इतनी overcrowded हो गई. Small producers in towns were often faced with stiff competition from import of cheap machine-made goods from England, where industrialization was more advanced than on the continent. This was especially so in textile production, which was carried out mainly in homes or small workshops and was only partly mechanized. क्योंकि यहाँ पर तो छोटे छोटे घरों में ही थोड़ा थोड़ा कपड़ा बनता था और वो मशीन मिल मेड क्लोथ से ये कॉम्पीट नहीं कर पाए. इन दोज रीजन्स ऑफ यूरोप वेयर द एरिस्टोक्रेसी स्टिल एंजॉयड पावर, peasants struggle under the burden of feudal dues and obligations. This word feudal you just discussed or you have read in 9th class also. So the rise of food prices, because population increased and the agricultural product also could not keep pace with the increasing population. So the price of food grains increased, or a year of bad harvest, and in the meanwhile there was bad harvest led to widespread pauperism in town and country. The year 1848 was one such year. बहुत भयंकर था. Food shortage and widespread unemployment brought the population of Paris out on the roads. And barricades were erected. Barricades लगाए गए and Louis Philippe was forced to flee. Now you see peasants uprising in 1848. Now, National Assembly proclaimed a republic, granted suffrage to all adult male above 21 years, and guaranteed the right to work. Now, national workshops to provide employment were set up. Earlier in 1845, weavers in Silesia had led a revolt against contractors who supplied them raw material and gave them order for finished textiles, but drastically reduced their payment. कि 1848 में सिलेसिया के वीवर्स ने बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक अपराइजिंग की, क्योंकि उनसे कपड़ा बनवाया जाता और उनके पेमेंट कम की जाती. द जर्नलिस्ट विम वॉल्फ डिस्क्राइब द इवेंट इन अ सिलेसियन विलेज एज फॉलोज. तो उन्होंने जो एक बहुत बड़ा जर्नलिस्ट हुआ है उसने इसके बारे में कैसे लिखा. इन दीज विलेजेस वेयर 18,000 inhabitants are there, cotton weaving is the मोस्ट वाइड स्प्रेड ऑक्यूपेशन, द मिजरी ऑफ द वर्कर्स, क्योंकि यहाँ के लोगों के बहुत मतलब सिचुएशन अच्छी नहीं है, इज़ एक्सट्रीम, द डेस्परेट नीड फॉर जॉब, अब उनको बहुत ही ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है जॉब की, हैज़ बीन टेकन एडवांटेज ऑफ बाय द कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, और इसका फ़ायदा कौन उठा रहा है? कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, टू रिड्यूस द प्राइसेस ऑफ गुड्स दे ऑर्डर. Now on 4th June at 2 p.m. a large crowd of weavers emerged from their homes and marched in pairs up to the mansion of their contractor, demanding higher wages. They were treated with scorn and threats alternately. Following this, a group of them forced their way into the houses, smashed its elegant window panes, furniture, porcelains, and another group broke into the storehouses and plundered it of supplies of cloth which they tore to shreds. The contractor fled with his family to a neighboring village, which however refused to shelter such a person. He returned 24 hours later, having requiesced the army. In the exchange that followed, 11 weavers were shot, and this was very just horrible, because the weavers, they were very angry, and they just went to the contractor's house. What they do? Because they were there, they were treated with scorn and threats alternately, but following this, a group of them forced their way into the house. लेकिन उन्होंने तो उसके कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के घर में घुस गए, सारे उसके विंडो पेन्स, फर्नीचर, जो भी चीज़ें थी वो सब तोड़ दी. एक ग्रुप ने उसके स्टोर हाउस को तोड़ दिया उनको, और जो भी वहाँ पर क्लोथ केयर उसको प्लंडर कर लिया, उसको कब्जे में ले लिया, विच दे टोर टू श्रेड्स. द कॉन्ट्रैक्टर वहाँ से भाग गया अपनी फैमिली के साथ किसी दूसरे गांव में, जहाँ पर उसको पनाह नहीं मिली, और वो 24 घंटे के बाद दोबारा से वापस आ गया. सो दिस वॉज द सिचुएशन, सच अ हॉरिबल सिचुएशन विद द वीवर्स, विद द peasants, and with the common people, and for everyone. And because of these incidents, because of these circumstances, the people, they gathered and they started revolutionary protest against the just aristocracy, against the clergy, against the foreign rule, the other countries who took over the command against them. So today we'll just complete this here only, and tomorrow we'll start the new topic, the revolution of the liberals. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you.